Hey friends, it's David with Remnant Homestead. I wanted to talk about rain catchment for a minute. They're saying that this is going to be a particularly hot and dry summer. Um, the El Nino, whether it's man-made or not, I don't know, but regardless, it's been getting drier here than usual. Ohio's second only to the Pacific Northwest in rainfall. I mean, we get a lot of rainfall, and catching rain here is legal. So if you live in a state where it's not, I suggest you move. But the nation has been hit with a lot of drought, and there's people who are talking about us being in part of a mega drought potentially. I don't know how true that is and how true they're trying to make that or whatever, but um, at least from my experience here, it has been drier than usual the past few years. And I've been listening to friends and family in Virginia um, and other states all over the country, like telling me that, they're doing a lot of watering of their gardens in the summer. And, um, that's not a necessity here typically. But the past few years, it's been drier than usual. And so, dry for Ohio is uh, not necessarily that dry, but we've started off with a lot of rainfall in the spring, and it just makes everything a muddy mess. And then by summer, it's been getting a little drier than I'd like it to be. So I use rain barrels for my goats, and I've been doing that for quite a number of years now. And what I've learned is that Ohio winters are brutal on rain barrels. So the freezing with the water in them just makes them swell up and crack and break, and they're useless, and they're pretty expensive. So they're anywhere from like $80 on sale upward of like $210 a piece. And they just, as thick as they are and all of that, they just really don't hang up that well, hold up that well rather. So I'm doing this with the trash can. It's something I had. I have quite a few more trash cans than I really need. So this is an old one. It's relatively clean. I used to store feed in it. I got something better to store the feed in that locks. And so I'm going to use this. And I got a ball valve off of Amazon, which I don't support Amazon. I really shouldn't even mention them, but it was cheap and it was convenient to order it. So I got it. It's stainless steel, it's lead free. Just FYI, if you don't know about brass, a lot of your brass fittings that are coming out of China and India and stuff contain a lot of lead. The molds that are used for the brasses are lead, and they contain a lot of lead residue. And so stainless steel is nice. And this is actually, I hate to say it, but it's a pretty quality ball valve, and it's stainless steel. And it was like 12 bucks on Amazon. So for my experiment, I thought I'd give it a go. And so what I'm going to do is I'm essentially going to take this rain barrel that I've got here and put a hole in it and put this valve in the bottom of it. I have some leftover gutters. I replaced my gutters like probably 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. And I kept the old ones because I knew I might want to use them for something like this. And so I've got gutters that I'm actually going to run along my fence line down to this. I'm just going to kind of hang them into this and, try to get as much water in here as possible. What I did for my goats, I basically just added a gutter to the back of it and a downspout into the rain barrel. Very easy setup. It's very easy to do. And I tell you, it's a lifesaver because I don't have a well down by my goat barn. So when it's out of water, I'm carrying water. And anybody who's carried 5-gallon jugs of water over 200 yards every day knows how fun that can be. So highly recommend using rain barrels if you can. But for the garden, well water you can. It's my garden's relatively close to my house. I can easily I've got a hose I can run out here and water my whole garden. It's like 35 by 98 or something like that. So it's a pretty sizable garden to water. Uh, and my hope is that this year I can use rainwater rather than well water. Um, well water's full of minerals, particularly in Ohio, and I just, yeah, I mean it'll do well enough for the plants, but rainwater is just so much better, even with whatever they're putting in the skies these days. It seems like the plants do better with rainwater than with well water. So I'm going to try to store as much as I can, um, and water from that this year and give this a try and see how it goes. But trash can instead of rain barrel, just cost savings. I mean, it's significant. So you can pick up these trash cans for practically nothing. um, we have Rural King here, probably, I don't know, like Homes, Lowe's, Home Depot. Um, we've got Homes Hardware. We've got other, our own little unique stuff here in Amish country. But lots of places, um, you can pick up cheap trash cans. And boy, I tell you, I mean, it could easily save you over $100 doing this. The material is uh, more rubbery, so I think it's going to hold up better. But we'll see. I'm going to give it a go, and I'll let you know how it works out. And I'll put it all together, and I'll show you when it's done. Okay, so I got the hole drilled, and I got it really snug. Like it's just big enough that I can twist this in using the threads, which is really what I want, because I want this to be, obviously to hold water. It needs to be as tight fitting system as possible. So obviously these washers are going to keep it on either side from leaking. Yeah, I'll update you when it's done. Okay, so it's all together. That's about the end of it. It's not a very complicated process. 3/4 inch hole, put it through, make sure that it's good and snug. And this is, you can't probably tell, but this is actually, I'm on a slope, and these rocks were laid to be level. And I'm going to fill it in with concrete so that I have a nice kind of area here for the rain barrel. And that's about it. So I'll be able to hook up a hose here, and I'll have roughly 55 gallons of water to water the garden from. And the top, essentially what I'm going to do is I've got some aluminum screen, and I'm just going to cut out a square. And if you're familiar with heat welding, essentially you just heat it up on the edges and push the screen into it, and when the plastic cools down, it'll essentially be heat welded into place. And so the gutter will come and drain right into that screen, and that'll filter out a lot of your debris, and that'll be the end of it. And so very simple, affordable rain catchment system for your garden or for your animals or for anything. Hope that's helpful. God bless.